So welcome to Spotty Dotty. The first thing I'm going to do is show you the supplies you need, and if you've purchased the kit, what will be in your kit. So I go through the kit first. The kit will have two mushroom cap Shrinkets, and on this we will be coloring on the frosted side. Okay? There's the shiny side and the frosted side. When you go to color on the frosted side. And then your kit will have the mushroom base and little beads and stuff, and it'll have two options. It'll have an option that you can choose to make your mushrooms on just a silver wire in a much simpler look. Or you can do them very whimsical with a black bow top and a little black lampwork bead here on the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to be demoing two colors of colored pencil. So that's what your kit has in it. It has those two choices. And then you're going to make, sorry, and then you're going to need your the large domed mold. So, I want to go back and make this clear. You'll have a chance to make four mushrooms, two pair variants with those two choices. So, one will be with the black bow and one pair with the silver. And then back to what you need to supply. You need the orchid color large dome mold. You'll need a heat gun. You'll need colored pencils in clean reds or whatever color you choose to make your mushroom. We are exploring doing the polka dots with a white colored pencil and a Posca. So either way you want to go. I'm going to say this already, and I say it in the video, that I do like the Posca effect better, but if you don't have it, you can do this a white colored pencil, and that's why I'm showing it. And then pliers, wire cutters, round nose, and a chain nose to do wire wrapping. So that's going to be all you need. So let's get started. The go-to color that I really like when looking for a warm red is vermilion. And then I found that this rose color, it shrinks to a really nice red. It's a little more red than this red the strawberry that I used over here. And I do think strawberry would go down fine. It's just real pink. And so this one here will be more of the red we're looking for. And then we're going to put Carmine in the middle here. That's a real pure red, but if you're not using a real quality pencil and you're using Carmine and a cheaper pencil, it could go a little browner too. So just pay attention to that. You can, when doing these reds. And this is this class is going to be about reds and how to make clean polka dots. And then we're making this fun project with it. So I'm going to now talk about polka dots I'm going to use. I'm going to use, this class is also a study in polka dots being white, or the polka dots being a much lighter color than your background color, and how to keep those dots clean. I'm going to be doing one with Posca marker, which is an acrylic pen, but it works well on shrink plastic. And even though it's acrylic, and usually acrylic paint would not work well in shrink plastic because it would pop off in its paint form. In this marker form, with the amount of solvents in it, it doesn't pop off so far. Anyhow, so let's start with the colored pencil. And for this, I'm going to move over to my craft paper. It's a little dirty, so that you can see the background. Whoops. And my pencil broke right away. That's okay. Broad tip is fine for large circles. And I'm just making my circles, my polka dots. And For me, I'm going to make them random sizes. That way I do not have to concern myself with do they match and are they all evenly spaced. Now, if you wanted them to all match, use a circle template stencil and draw your outline and fill it in with white that way. Okay, that's the one with the colored pencil, and then this one's going to be the one with the Posca marker. And I'm making sure that I don't have a pool of pigment first, and then coming in and doing my Posca. In having done this project already, before I showcased it here, I am going to tell you right off the bat that the Posca marker to me was a bit better way to go to ensure a really solid, nice white, and to ensure that crumbs from the colored pencil didn't go over and migrate into the white background. Crumbs from the red colored pencil that I'm going to put in the background, I mean. And that is inevitable. It will happen no matter how hard you try. It's the nature of the beast. So a Posca, in this case, in the design we're going for, which is very graphic, meaning bold, solid colors. Okay, I need to really let that one dry before I color it, where I don't have to and I just smeared. I will be coloring that up with colored pencils. So now I'm just gonna do this in the vermilion, this one, and this is the trick. You come around your circles with a border. And that allows you to, when coloring your background, you won't. There's something in my bag, I think it's a little seed bead. There it was, it went rolling. And that's your trick with this. And then I'm going to do a shading technique. I'm not like this. I'm doing a twirling shading technique, but I'm not doing a graduate shade. I'm just doing intense fill, intense pressure. And in this case, for the red, it's nice to bring over the white background. You can see little crumbs of colored pencil landing all over the place. As I said, that's inevitable. And we will try to blow those off. And because this color intensifies 50%, we will not be seeing our pencil, even in overlapping and twirling, we would see pencil line. We will not see that. That'll shrink down and fill in. There we go. That one will be all ready to shrink. And I am going to do this when my Posca is really dry. So you will see me again when the Posca is dry. My Posca marker is dried, so I'm coming in with the same technique and outlining. And this time we're using the rose. This outlining technique gives you a little opportunity to clean up your dots. Got something under my paper there. And then I will be doing that same shading technique on this, which I will bring over my white paper to shade on and come in here and color fill all this in with my twirling motion. And then when you get done with this, you will want to blow it off with your, not this, that will smear colored pencil crumbs. And yes, you could use a marker to fill this in with, but I would, if you did so, I would be very careful because sometimes marker can get, I'm not talking the Posca marker, anytime, well, I am talking the Posca marker, paint pen. Anytime we take any of these like Posca's markers that have a real intense pigment that builds up very quickly on the surface, we risk that when that shrinks down, a real intense layering, heavy layering can bubble and chip off and kind of get burning effects. So if you went in with a red Posca all in this background and the white, you would have total acrylic paint cover up and on your total surface, and you have more of a risk of it not shrinking well, of it shrinking distorted because the surface would be heavily pigmented and the top layer of the shrink plastic would want to shrink slower because it would get less heat. Than this side it would want to burn and that kind of thing. And that's why I'm mixing colored pencil with this, because it's a pigment that can build up on shrink plastic without causing problems. And that's why when I use markers and pens, I only use them in detailed spots like this and not in an overall colored background. Like I said, you're welcome to try, but I would do that as an experiment because I have seen it gone bad quickly when surfaces are heavily covered with markers, especially Sharpies. That's why I do not use Sharpies except a fine tip black or the very fine tip other colors for just tiny details. So that said, we're going to go on to shrinking. So for assembling, I've given you two choices. One will be doing the black bow top, much more whimsical. Black bow top earring post and little black flower. And the other one will be the little, just the little silver selection, and just without black. Okay, I just sent my seed bead flying, so we will find another one when I get ready to do that. I'm going to first do the black one. Now the shaft on the black head pin is much larger than on the silver pin, so it requires less stopper beads that would slide through the base of this. So right now I'm going to add the flower thing, and if you notice I put the tip of the petal this way, and then it's got a little concave area that I go at the top there. And I put my little green sequin bead on. I'm putting the mushroom base on, the mushroom cap, and then I'm going for a wire wrap. Now you have two options with this. If we can bend these little guys back on our bow and wire wrap directly onto that, or in your kit you will have a little jump ring if you want to attach that with a jump ring. And then you won't need to bend the little guys back, to get in with your wire wrap. So I'm going to be showing it going right directly onto the wire wrap. Right onto the loop on the bow. Thus, I'm going to be bending the bows back. So I bent those gently back. Now I'm going to put this in my left hand, and holding it firmly, and I'm bringing, giving myself a tiny little neck there to do my wire wrap, and I'm bringing my wire down around, brought it down around the back right there, and I'm going to slip that tail onto my loop, and I'm coming in here with a thinner pair of pliers. Well, I'll come back in with my round nose because they get really nicely in there, and I'm going to hold that loop. I'll show you when I've got it grabbed here. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm dropping this down so I can get it without grabbing both. See, can you see what I'm doing here? So I've got the loop right, I'm holding the loop right there. And then I'm going to grab this tail and bring it around. Go in little steps because it's a tiny tail. It's a little bit of a challenge in there. Kind of corkscrewing it. Then I've got my loop is a little crooked. See how it's a little crooked? I'm going to bend that over into place with and that lines my wire wrap a little bit. There, got me a little cleaner wire wrap. And there I am. I'm going to straighten out my wire that may have gotten bent in that, and bring my bows down, bow tails down around that. And there we go with that one, okay? Like I said, if you have a little bit of hard time, you saw how I was having to really get in there, you can avoid that by wire wrapping it the way I'm going to wire wrap this silver one, and then just using a jump ring to attach your wire wrapped loop to the loop on the bow. So this would be how you would do it if you were not going to directly attach it like I just did to this loop. It just gives it another another drop. more length visually in here. So on this one, if you're using the silver, or this is the same way as I said, using a black head pin and wire wrapping it separately, this is how you do that. But if you're doing the design with the silver, because you don't want those black accents, we use a stopper bead here, because this hole is about the hole of the head pin, so we can't go directly there. We have to use form follows function. So I put those decorative things there. Now the same happens up here, so I'm using a little white seed bead to help fill in that little hole. Then this is just a traditional wire wrap. I give myself a little bit of space right in between the white seed bead and the head pin, and I'll come with this, and then I'm coming around with this tail around the back and bringing it around and wrapping and wrapping. I try to go 3 times if I can, and then I'll bend it away a little bit so that the loop comes out nice and straight. And if it isn't as straight as I want it, see that? I just can come in here and straighten it this way and get a nice loop. And then I cut that tail off, so I'll show you this. And that would be the same way you'd do the black one, and then attach a jump ring to it, the little black jump ring to it, and attach to your black base. But on this, your silver ear wire has this has an open link in it, and I've already opened it, the loop there, so I can slip this on in place and then close that back up. And as I said, the black one doesn't have that. So here are our little guys. One is frosted and one is shiny. And there they are. Okay, thanks.